So we got more fight announcements. This is fucking nuts. We're just getting more and more. Though Dana White's cooking. He just keeps announcing more fight announcements. And we've got two big ones and then a few smaller fight announcements as well. So Garry versus Vicente Luque is official for UFC 296, and Sean Brady versus Kelvin Gastelum is official for an unknown event on December 2nd, which is just ridiculously stacked, even though it's a fight night. So we're going to go through those matchups in today's video, plus just a few smaller fight announcements that have also been made. But the bigger of the two, in my opinion, Vicente Luque versus Garry, official for UFC 296. Massive fight announcement. Dana White announced this just yesterday. I was gonna make a video, but it was like 10 p.m. and I just couldn't be bothered, and I wanted to go to bed. But now I'm making a video because we also got the official announcement of Kelvin Gastelum versus Sean Brady as well. So I didn't want to just make a solo video for one fight. It's kind of a waste of time. But we got another one. So with this matchup, great fight. I do believe Garry is going to win comfortably, and I think he's going to beat Vicente Luque probably by decision, but maybe a TKO to be honest. So in this fight, the reason why I just don't see it being good for Vicente Luque whatsoever is just because I don't think his striking is nearly as good as it once was. I think he's gone away from the striking. Um, and I think Garry is just a hell of a lot better of a striker. I think we can all say that. We kind of thought that Garry was going to be fighting like a Stephen Thompson. And that was like one where we're like, geez, he could even beat Thompson on the feet. So I do believe he clearly beats Luque on the feet. Luque has become a lot more of a grappler recently. Obviously, in that RDA fight, he didn't strike for a lot. He kind of just used his size to grapple. I don't see him trying to strike with Garry. If he did, he's probably just going to lose. Um, but I think even the grappling attempts, I do believe Garry when he says he's working on that grappling. We just haven't seen it. Like he dealt with Magny easily. Just pieced him up. Well, obviously, Luque's a better striker than Magny, but Magny couldn't grapple with him at all successfully. I don't think he got taken down once. So I don't see Vicente Luque taking down Garry. Um, so I just don't see this fight going well for him because if you can't take down Garry, unless you're like Wonderboy or Leon Edwards or maybe Shovcut, like I just don't see you doing well on the feet. You got to be a really fucking good striker to beat this guy on the feet, or just have a stupid grappling base. Like there's not a lot of guys I would favor right now to beat Garry. Like I might go with Della Maddalena to beat him on the feet, but even that, like back to boxer, Garry's like got a lot more weapons than Jack Della Maddalena. So I do think he's one of the better strikers at 170, and I think he's going to deal with Luque pretty well. But I wanted to talk about the card as well itself. Like they really they did what I said. Like I made the video the other day. You can go check it out. It's not doesn't carry as much weight now because they've booked a bunch of fights. But I made a video matchmaking the whole of welterweight. And I said you put like 3 fights on that 296 card that are welterweight fights. I said you do like Usman versus Wonderboy or Wonderboy versus Garry on this card, and then you also do like Shavkat versus Bilal. But they've gone a different direction. We're probably going to end up seeing Usman versus Bilal made. That could be the main event of the December 2nd card, which would be pretty crazy. Um, but yeah, like, because on this card now, Leon Edwards versus Colby Covington, obviously the flyweight title fight as well, Paddy versus Tony, but then Shavkat versus Wonderboy and Garry versus Luque. I think what they're trying to do here is just guarantee that Bilal Muhammad does not like have a good claim for a title shot because if either Garry, I don't think they would give it to Garry, but if Shavkat just smokes Wonderboy easily and makes him look like he doesn't belong in there, which I think he could very well do, then they could just go with Shavkat for the title shot, like Jeff Neal, and then Wonderboy if he just smokes him, like that's worth the title shot. Like Bilal's coming off a decision win over Gilbert Burns, so I think if Shavkat beat Wonderboy, he'd probably take Burns' spot in the rankings as well. You know, maybe even Bilal if he doesn't fight. Or he'd take Hamzat's actually because Hamzat doesn't fight at welterweight anymore. And once he fights Costa, I think they're probably going to remove him from the welterweight rankings. So really good stuff from the UFC with this welterweight matchmaking. They didn't do the ones I said, but these ones all work too. Like, look, I'm not going to complain. Obviously, they didn't want to give your boy credit. They didn't want to say that I had claimed to making all of these great fights. They wanted to go their own way with it. So I'm not going to complain. But with these fight announcements as well, and also the announcement of Brady versus Gastelum, that now means I'm pretty sure 9 welterweights are booked. So Leon versus Colby, that's 2. Shavkat versus Wonderboy is 4. Garry versus Neil is 6. And then Gastelum and Brady is like, well, Gastelum's not ranked, so that's 7. And then I might be missing one, but and then Hums that's also technically booked, but he's booked at middleweight. So I think this pretty much means we're also going to get Della Maddalena versus Def Neal, which is what I did say. So finally, one of them I'm going to get right. And then they could just do Usman versus Bilal too. Like I think by the end of the year, like by the approaching December, we're probably going to see like all of welterweight booked, except for like Chiesa and like Chiesa and Hamzat, obviously, but he'll be gone. So then someone else will come into the rankings. Um, and that'll be interesting to see too. But apart from that, like I think they'll probably do Holland versus Neil Magny, um, and then apart from that, I think that's the whole of welterweight. So really good to see. But the other fight announcement, Sean Brady versus Kelvin Gastelum is official for December 2nd. It was like going around. There was like rumors of it yesterday. I saw them and I was gonna put them in the video. Um, but then I was like, I better wait till it's official because I don't want to make a thing just based off Twitter rumors. Um, but now it's official. So Big Marcel announced that Big Marcel's the G. He knows all the official fight announcements. And in this one, I'm honestly gonna pick Kelvin Gastelum. I think Sean Brady really kind of got exposed against Bilal Muhammad to not be able to fight well in a what the fuck's it with my eye? He really got exposed to not be able to fight well in a pressure situation. Like he does not do well when it's going back and forth when guys are trading shots when they're both landing. Um, not Burns. Brady just kind of folds. Like he got TKO'd without even getting dropped by Bilal. And Gastelum for sure hits harder than Bilal. Coming down from 185 will be interesting to see if the chin does in fact hold up. Because if it doesn't, then he could be in a bit of trouble, or if he's just not durable, or just doesn't hit the same, or doesn't have the same cardio, then like it could be trouble for him. But he looks really good against Chris Curtis in his comeback fight. And that was after a while off, so I think he's going to look better now. I think he's going to look better if he can trim that weight off and actually do it properly and fight at 170 with like a natural build instead of trying to like maintain that fucking fridge build that he has. And fight at 185. So I think he's going to do really well here. I think he's just going to bring the fight to Brady. He's a big, stocky guy, doesn't usually get taken down and dominated that much. So I don't think Brady's going to have heaps of success with the grappling. It's going to be Brady's first fight since October last year. So the activity is surprisingly on Gastelum's side in terms of who fought the most recently. But yeah, I think Gastelum's just going to take the fight to him, put a jab on him, walk him down, and then Brady just doesn't do well on the back foot striking if he can't take you down. Like Bilal Muhammad, it was a striking fight. And his striking he looked okay. Like he was arguably beating Bilal, but then he just got cracked by like a hook, and Bilal doesn't even hit hard, and then he just folded. Well, didn't even fold. He just stood there, put his guard up, and just didn't throw back, and got TKO'd. So I think Gastelum's going to do a pretty similar thing. December 2nd, amazing card as well. Let's look at this card. No main event official to here, so this could be an absolute crazy card. Look, so far without a main event, we've already got Cannonier versus Dolidze, Font versus Figueiredo, Gastelum versus Brady, and then Roundtree versus Mazakhanov, and then Misha Tate's on there as well. I think there might be a few other smaller fights, but no main event. So what the fuck? What's going to be the main event for that? Let's try and figure that out. Um, like it could be Pavlovich or no, it's probably Garn versus Aspinall. Like it's either a combination of Garn, Aspinall, and Pavlovich, two of those three maybe, or Usman versus Bilal, or could be like Yair versus Arnold Allen, maybe. Um, could be like the women's bantamweight title fight, but I think that would be dead. Like I would rather see. I'm way more excited for all of these fights than I would be for a women's bantamweight title. They should just chuck that as like the third fight on a pay per view somewhere. like as a third title fight. They should just put that on 295 as just a third title fight, to be honest, because it's dead. You can't even fight no main event with that because no one gives a fuck. Unless they want to just do like a Brazil, because they're both, or Pennington's Brazilian, Pena's like somewhere from that area, like ethnic wise. So you could do that as like a South America fight now, but like it works with Grasso Shevchenko, but I just don't think, and it works with Wei Levis like Yanja, and that works, but no one cares about women's bantamweight, so I don't think that'll be it. But yeah, really good fight there, and an amazing card too. So I'm excited for that. Just a few other ones. Just announced then, Andre Arlovsky versus Waldo Cortez Acosta is official for the first card of 2024. So this is the first fight announcement of 2024 in the Apex. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Andre Arlovsky. Rip to Arlovsky. Acosta's going to beat him up and TKO him. Another good one here. Tagir Ulanbekov versus Cody Durden. This is December 16th, so UFC 296. Actually, a really interesting fight. I'll be probably going with Cody Durden because he's looked really good, and Tagir Ulanbekov hasn't fought in a while from memory. Um, Another one, we got Clay Guida versus Joaquim Silva. When's this for? December 2nd as well, so that's on that same card. Um, and I would probably lean towards Joaquim Silva because he actually looked pretty good against Arman Sayukian. Um, he's 5-4 in the UFC, but he's beat Jared Gordon, so it's not like he's not terrible. And then another one, Uros Medic versus Johnny Parsons. Uros Medic will smoke him. When's that for? November 18th in the Apex. That'll be an easy win for Uros Medic. Any other ones? Let me just check. I'm checking Big Marcel. No, that's it. So those are all the fight announcements, guys. Also, Izzy got arrested for drink driving. Lol. Um, that's tough. He's on the mental downfall arc now. This is the part of my storyline where I get arrested and go to jail for drink driving. Frost. That's that's Izzy's going through his little. This is his anime arc. This is his moment where he gets arrested and gets hated by the whole world, you know. And then comes back and loses to like Brendan Allen. That's the part of his storyline. So also, yeah, Izzy got arrested for drink driving. Lol. But anyway, um, really good fight announcements. Let me know who you guys are picking in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, all of that. Go follow my Instagram, leftlane_MMA2 for more UFC content. I'll probably I'll probably be releasing the podcast maybe today or tomorrow. I'm just gonna do a quick one because no pay per view just for the last two cards. And because we haven't had any we're going to have a week off next week. So I'll do that and then I'll do another podcast after 294. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.